Hey guys, I have a confession to make. I really, really love Transformers. Please don't judge me. The first time I heard about the Transformers was like a way back in like '84, and at the time I was collecting GoBots, and then I saw this commercial for the Transformers by Marvel Comics, and my eyes just lit up, and I was like, "Wow, what is this? This looks awesome!" Every Friday, if I had a good report, my mother would take me down to a toy store, and she would buy me a GoBot. I didn't have very many GoBots. One Friday afternoon after school, my mother took me down to the toy store to pick up a new GoBot, and there wasn't any more GoBots where the section was. So we went and asked the clerk and said, "Hey, you guys got any more GoBots?" The clerk goes, "No, but we got some Transformers." And I was just like a little kid just going, "You have Transformers? Oh my god." So he showed us where the Transformers were, and lo and behold, there was these beautiful, beautiful boxes and packages of the Transformers. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get any Transformers because they were a little bit more expensive than GoBots. But my birthday was coming up, and so my parents decided to buy me a Transformer, and they bought me Wheeljack. So here is my Transformer collection. Let me go ahead and start with this guy over here. This is Wheeljack. I remember getting him back in like second grade. He wasn't as articulate as this, but he still had a pretty cool transformation. The vehicle mode for this is pretty cool also. I'm just really cool that they did a reissue of him, or a re-release. And he's like a combiner now. I guess he's like an arm or a leg or something like that. Either way, it's pretty cool having him. See, I also got Perceptor. I don't know why people bag on him. Yeah, I mean, he turns into a microscope or whatnot, but his robot form is awesome. I mean, look at this. He's got like a huge fucking shoulder cannon. Really, it's pretty cool. I got Cosmos. Isn't he cute? This guy's Ramjet. I got him over at a swap meet. Then I got Starscream right here, and he's falling off the thing. Yeah, he's definitely my favorite Decepticon. By the way, if you want to know how I got Starscream, I'll post a link at the very end of this video, and then you can just check out the story from that. Jazz. I mean, it's Jazz, man. He's awesome. He was voiced by Scatman Crothers. For all those who don't know who Scatman Crothers was, he's the voice of Hong Kong Phooey, and he was also in The Shining. This guy is awesome. We got Brawl, we got Swindle, we got Vortex, we got Blastoff, and this is Onslaught. And the gun is actually Shockwave. I'm not sure if you guys know this or not, but Shockwave was actually a real badass in the comic books back in the 80s. They had a 4-issue limited series. It spanned for 80 issues. The last issue actually says 80 in a 4-issue limited series. The very end of issue 4, you see this huge blast and like a bunch of Transformers are all incapacitated, and Shockwave is the one who did it. He was the last robot standing. And in issue 5, it shows him walking past the wall that he hit up with his own arm cannon, and it says "are all dead." So basically it read the Transformers, and on the wall says "are all dead." Shockwave was badass. He actually took over the Decepticons. He beat Megatron, and then he actually had the head of Optimus Prime like up on a mantle. And this is my favorite combiner team. I remember I saw Onslaught over at Walmart, and I was like, "Whoa, wait a minute! They re-released Bruticus?" Okay, so I got him, and then I started scouring every toy store I could find, or just like any Target or any Walmart, and I would just look to see if they had any one of these Combaticons, and eventually I ended up getting them all.
Combaticons merge into Bruticus! Bruticus hates Cybertron. Bruticus hates you all.
I can get this fucker to stand up now. We have Galvatronus. I'm not sure which one this is. I think this is Dead End from the Stunticons. And then we have Blades, Streetwise, First Aid. This is actually Cyclonus. This is like the ultimate version of Galvatron being a super robot, you know? And I got Grimlock. I actually don't like Grimlock's robot mode on this. I like the original version. Then I have Blitzwing. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with this, but Blitzwing is actually a defector. In the final episode of 5 Faces of Darkness, the Quintessons succeed in actually deactivating all the Transformers, and Spike was there.
Sorry, Quince, you blew it.
Where are they?
Galvatron chases out all the Quintessons, and then we see Rodimus and Galvatron. They turn around, they start facing each other, and they're like, well, wait a minute, let's go ahead and finish what we started. And then Blitzwing is like, no.
This battle ends now, or I shall write its conclusion. You will never be welcome in the ranks of the Decepticons again. Sometimes it's better to be known for one's enemies.
Besides Optimus Prime, my all-time favorite Transformer is got to be Six Shot. I remember when Six Shot first came out, and I remember all these kids were like, oh, I can do 3, I can do 4, I can do 5, because Six Shot actually didn't have an instruction manual. It was just like, here you go, have fun. And so this was kind of like the Transformer version of a Rubik's Cube, if you will. So it was pretty awesome if a kid could solve him. Yes, I can actually do all 6.
5 up, 5 down. It's like shooting cyber ducks in a barrel.
I remember flipping through channels one Saturday morning, and all of a sudden I stop because I see the theme song for the Transformers, and I was like, oh my god, they have a cartoon show. And I just remember how cool it was, and just singing along, you know, the Transformers, more than meets the eye.
Autobots wage their battle to destroy the evil forces of the Decepticons, the Transformers. The Transformers. More than meets the eye. The Transformers.
It sticks in your head, you know, it's kind of a silly jingle now, you know, but man, it's so iconic. I remember the beginning words for the Transformers. It was millions of years ago, life existed, but not life as we know it today. There were machines who could think and who could feel. They were known as Autobots and Decepticons.
But the brutal Decepticons were driven by a single goal: total domination. They set out to destroy the peace-loving Autobots, and a war between the forces of good and evil raged across Cybertron, devastating all in its path, draining the planet's once rich sources of energy. The Autobots, on the verge of extinction, battled valiantly to survive.
So if you think about it, Transformers had a much more deeper meaning, you know, than its other cartoons. A lot of the other cartoons back in the 80s was all about trying to sell you toys. It was about energy conservation, or just warning us when we become adults to learn to share our resources between, you know, different countries, because if not, our whole planet is going to get ravaged, and we're going to be fighting each other like it's Mad Max, you know, like trying to fight each other for gasoline and water and stuff like that. The first 3 episodes really were badass. I think they were the best animated episodes of the entire series. It was like the animators were like, you know what, we're going to go for broke, and we're going to make like the 3 best episodes that we can make, because we don't know if this will get picked up for a season or anything. I remember Optimus Prime, he sounded like John Wayne.
Stick it in neutral, Megatron. You're not going anywhere.
One of my favorite characters was Starscream. I just loved how he used to always undermine Megatron.
I am the leader of the future. You couldn't lead androids to a picnic.
He would always take shots at Megatron every now and then, thinking that his weapons could actually overpower him. Was so funny, so ridiculous.
Megatron!
If you were to go and watch the Transformers, I urge you guys to watch 1 episode first before watching the original 3 episodes. That episode is called War Dawn, and it's where the aerial bots accidentally go back in time, and they see Optimus Prime before he was Optimus Prime.
I'm Orion Pax, and this is Ariel.
And keep away from her. She's my girlfriend.
Don't listen to him. He's just a jealous type.
He was a big fan of Megatron. He thought those were the newest robots and they were the coolest, you know. And then Megatron decides to go ahead and take over the power plant that he's working on. And in the process, he guns down Orion Pax and he guns down Ariel.
You monster!
So the Ariel bots take Orion and Ariel to see Alpha Trion. And then Alpha Trion's like, you know, I got an idea.
You may not recognize him. He is no longer Orion Pax. Now he is the first of our new defenders, Optimus Prime.
And I just remember when Optimus Prime first shows up and, you know, Megatron's like, who the hell are you? And Optimus goes,
Your worst nightmare.
Now, some people might say, okay, he's biting Sylvester Stallone from Rambo.
I'm your worst nightmare.
But if you think about it, that war took place millions and millions of years before Sylvester Stallone was born. So who was ripping off who? So with all that in mind, that episode, Megatron guns him down and guns down his girlfriend. His girlfriend gets, you know, rebuilt into Elita 1. But still, Megatron shot him down and shot down his girlfriend. Let that sink in. Okay? Cool. Now, go watch the first 3 episodes. Especially watch episode 3. Optimus Prime is pissed. It's the only time you see Optimus Prime actually yell. He's screaming as Megatron takes off in that space cruiser filled with energon cubes. And you just see Optimus just reach up and he just shouts, Megatron! At this point, now that I've seen the original 3 episodes and seen War Dawn, I'm convinced Optimus Prime has a vendetta, a straight up vendetta. He wants vengeance for what Megatron did to him and his girlfriend.
It's just you and me now, Megatron.
Then you better get some help, Prime.
Oh no, I've been waiting for this chance.
It does bring a new dynamic to that story between the two. So when they fight in the 86 movie, and then Megatron kills him again, you're like, God, man, Optimus can just not catch a break. Hell, even later on, the Quintessons actually bring him back, but they leave out a few components. So when they revive him, they pretty much bring him back as a zombie.
Until all are one.
You shed a tear for that because you weren't expecting him to die in the 86 movie. And you damn sure weren't expecting to come back as a zombie. Eventually, they brought him back in The Return of Optimus Prime.
Stop! Please stop! Never, Quintesson. This world is ours. Optimus Prime shall die again!
You got the touch!
What is this?
You got the power!
Now light our darkest hour.
I'm convinced, Stan Bush, if you're listening, I think you should be credited as the voice of the Matrix because every time the Matrix opens up, you got the touch starts playing. There's got to be some dudes out there who agree with me on this one. Another cool episode, which is probably, it's kind of bittersweet because you can tell the cartoon itself, the first generation was starting to get a little bit stale. So Rebirth, to me, was like a really great way to end the series. And now a lot of people may disagree with that because there were so many cool Transformers coming out and we all wanted to see Power Master Optimus Prime. I really did. I was really hoping that the 4th season would allow Power Master Optimus Prime to come on out because it's like the coolest. He's like the best Transformers toy because we finally see what the hell happens to that trailer because that's the running gag. Optimus Prime transforms into a truck, and then when he transforms back into a robot, where the hell does the trailer go? So they finally answered that by creating Power Master Optimus Prime, where the trailer becomes a part of him, like another section of him, where he becomes like this super robot, and it's like the coolest thing. So, are there any Transformer fanatics out there? Am I the only one? I'm not? Cool, man. Tell me your favorite episode in the comments below. And go ahead and hit me up on Twitter. I would love to have a longer conversation about the Transformers. I love this series, man. Hit the thumbs up button if you're into Transformers. And if you haven't already, subscribe, because subscribers equal homies on this channel. Until next time, until all are one.